Bernadette sat quietly by the window, just as she had done for years. The morning light spilled gently across the floor, warming the little terracotta pot resting on the windowsill. Inside the pot stood the same tiny green plant that had been with her through nearly every chapter of her life. It was small, simple, unremarkable to anyone else, but not to Bernadette. She remembered planting it years ago with her husband on a quiet spring afternoon. Back then, laughter still filled the house. The future felt endless. They believed the little plant would one day grow tall and beautiful, maybe even too large for the windowsill. But life had its own plans. Her husband passed away before that day ever came. Then came the years of hospitals, chemotherapy, exhaustion, fear. Bernadette fought cancer quietly, carrying herself through treatments while still watering the little plant every morning before sunrise. Even when her body felt weak, she made sure the soil stayed moist. Then the children grew up. One by one, they moved far away, chasing careers, marriages, and lives of their own. The house became quieter with every passing year. Phone calls became shorter. Holidays became less frequent. Sometimes the silence inside the home felt louder than any storm, yet the plant remained season after season, year after year. It never died, but strangely, it never seemed to grow either. Its leaves stayed nearly the same size. Its stem remained delicate and still. Bernadette often wondered if something was wrong with it. Sometimes she thought about replacing it, buying a healthier plant with larger leaves and brighter color, but she never could bring herself to let it go. Every morning, she spoke to it softly while watering it. "You're stubborn, aren't you?" she would whisper with a faint smile. And on difficult days, she talked longer. She told it about her fears, about missing her husband, about feeling forgotten sometimes, about how tired she was of pretending to be strong. And somehow, talking to the little plant made the loneliness feel smaller. One gray afternoon, as rain tapped softly against the window, Bernadette stared at the plant with tired eyes. "Why don't you grow?" she finally asked aloud. Her voice cracked slightly. "I've cared for you all these years. I've watered you, protected you, loved you. Why do you stay the same?" Tears gathered in her eyes as she looked at the tiny plant sitting faithfully in the old pot. For a moment, all she could see were the things life never became, the trips never taken, the grandchildren she rarely saw, the empty chair at the dinner table, the years that disappeared too quickly. But just before the tears fell, something inside her shifted. She looked again, really looked, and suddenly Bernadette smiled, because for the first time, she realized the plant had been growing all along, not upward, not outward, but through time, through endurance, through survival. The plant had become something deeper than beauty, a quiet symbol of persistence, a living reminder that not all growth announces itself loudly. Some growth happens silently, over years, over heartbreak, over survival. The little plant had survived every season beside her. Storms, loss, sickness, loneliness, and somehow so had she. It wasn't the tallest plant, it wasn't the prettiest, but it was faithful, consistent, alive, and maybe that was more powerful than blooming quickly. Bernadette gently touched one of the leaves and laughed softly through her tears. "Well," she whispered, "I guess we both grew after all." Outside, the rain continued to fall, and there by the window sat two living, still rooted in love, strength, kindness, and the quiet courage of continuing to live one season at a time.